The finale opens with a sense of inevitability, like everything has already been decided and the characters are just catching up to their fate. Tommy Egan walks into this episode with nothing left to lose, and that's what makes him so dangerous. By now, the walls have closed in from every direction. The streets are hostile, the alliances are poisoned, and the enemies are no longer hiding in the shadows. Tommy isn't fighting for power anymore. He's fighting for control over his own ending. You can feel it in every move he makes. This isn't the reckless Tommy from New York, and it's not the hopeful outsider who first stepped into Chicago. This is a man who understands that the city will never accept him, only test him. Meanwhile, the ghost of Diamond hangs over everything. His death wasn't just a loss, it was a warning. Diamond believed loyalty could hold a broken family together, and the finale proves how wrong that belief was. Jennard didn't just lose his brother, he lost the last piece of himself that still felt human. Instead of grief, he chooses blame. Instead of truth, he chooses revenge. And of course, that revenge is aimed straight at Tommy. The finale makes it painfully clear that this war was never really about drugs or territory. It was about ego, guilt, and men who refused to face their own mistakes. As pressure builds from law enforcement, rival crews, and former allies, Tommy realizes that everyone wants a piece of him, and some want him gone entirely. Yet even with death circling closer, Tommy remains defiant. He smiles when he shouldn't, stands tall when he should run, and embraces the chaos instead of escaping it. That confidence is what keeps him alive, but it's also what guarantees the bloodshed isn't over. The finale doesn't rush these moments. It lets the tension breathe, reminding us that every step forward pushes someone else closer to the edge. And by the end of this first act, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. There will be no clean victories here, only survivors and consequences. As the tension escalates, the focus shifts to the fractured bonds that have driven so much of the story. Diamond and Jennard's relationship haunts every scene, even in their absence. The show slows just enough to remind us of what once was, a time when Diamond's loyalty and love for his brother seemed unshakable. That bond, however, was always under immense pressure, strained by ambition, greed, and the dangerous world they both tried to navigate. Diamond believed that he could save Jennard, that loyalty and trust could repair what was broken. But loyalty in this universe is a double-edged sword, and Diamond's devotion becomes his fatal flaw. Jennard, consumed by ego and wounded pride, no longer sees love. He only sees opportunity and survival. Every choice he makes pushes the final confrontation closer, creating a sense of dread that lingers over every character. Meanwhile, Tommy's world continues to implode around him. With Ortega breathing down his neck and the streets of Chicago growing more chaotic, every interaction feels like a ticking time bomb. The writing brilliantly highlights how fragile control truly is in this environment. One wrong move, one misplaced trust, and everything falls apart. Characters are forced to confront not just each other, but the consequences of their past actions. The emotional weight of Diamond's death continues to ripple through the episode, emphasizing that in this world, even the strongest connections can be shattered in an instant. While chaos reigns, moments of reflection and humanity punctuate the narrative, keeping the audience emotionally tethered. We see grief, regret, and fleeting glimpses of what might have been, all layered against the backdrop of a city that is unforgiving and relentless. By the midpoint of the episode, the stakes feel impossibly high. Tommy is no longer just fighting for dominance. He is fighting to survive while holding on to a moral code that is already fraying. Every scene pulses with suspense. Every decision carries irreversible consequences, and the looming sense of tragedy is impossible to ignore. As the finale pushes forward, the line between justice and vengeance blurs, setting the stage for a conclusion that is as inevitable as it is heartbreaking. The tension ratchets up as the finale dives headfirst into chaos and confrontation. Tommy's struggle isn't just physical, it's psychological. Every alliance, every choice he's made this season comes crashing back, reminding him that in Chicago, trust is a currency he can't afford. The show does an incredible job of layering suspense over heartbreak, making you feel every punch, every betrayal, and every fleeting moment of hope alongside him. Diamond's absence is a constant shadow, His death is not just a plot point, it's a weight pressing down on everyone's decisions. The scene where Tommy faces the mounting threats alone is nothing short of electric. You can almost hear the city itself breathing down his neck. Street corners, empty buildings, even the quiet moments are loaded with danger. Ortega, Jennard, and other enemies converge like predators, each one pushing Tommy closer to a breaking point. But what makes this finale truly riveting is how it balances action with emotion. It's not just a showdown of bullets and fists. It's a culmination of years of character arcs, choices, and betrayals. We see Tommy's defiance, his loyalty, and his stubbornness all collide, and it's thrilling because every moment feels like it could tip into disaster. Meanwhile, the emotional core of the episode, Diamond's loyalty and sacrifice, haunts every move. Tommy's interactions with those connected to Diamond highlight the personal cost of the drug game, showing that survival isn't just about power, it's about the people you lose along the way. Even the briefest exchanges are loaded with tension and meaning, emphasizing how high the stakes have become. The finale doesn't rush this tension. It lets it simmer, letting the audience absorb the full weight of the consequences. As Tommy fights, schemes, and navigates the treacherous landscape, the episode consistently reminds us that in this world, being clever isn't enough. Being human is a liability. By the end of this section, the stage is set for the inevitable clash that will decide not only who survives, but who leaves a lasting mark on the Power universe. Every scene reinforces that nothing in this city is safe, nothing can be predicted, and the emotional fallout will linger long after the screen goes dark. As the finale reaches its climax, the tension becomes almost unbearable. Every confrontation, every betrayal, every alliance comes to a head in a storm of violence and emotion. Tommy is surrounded, outnumbered, and yet defiant. He fights not just for survival, but for the people and principles he refuses to abandon, even when the odds are stacked against him. The streets of Chicago feel alive with danger, every corner a potential threat, every movement charged with suspense. Meanwhile, Jennard's obsession with revenge drives him to increasingly reckless choices. His desire to punish Tommy blinds him to the real consequences of his actions, and it's heartbreaking to see how far he's fallen. The finale doesn't shy away from showing how devastating obsession can be, and while the violence escalates, it's the personal stakes that keep us invested. Diamond's legacy and sacrifice continue to echo through the episode, serving as a reminder that loyalty, even when misguided, has real consequences. Tommy's moments of defiance are interspersed with heartbreak, especially as he faces the reality that not everyone will make it out alive. Relationships that once seemed unbreakable are shattered, and the audience is forced to confront the cost of ambition, pride, and loyalty in a world that spares no one. The tension is relentless, and the show masterfully uses pacing to keep viewers on the edge of their seats. Every fight, every plan, every whispered conversation carries weight, building toward a finale that is as emotional as it is explosive. By the end of this section, the stage is fully set. Tommy is isolated, surrounded by enemies, and forced to confront the consequences of every choice he's ever made. The suspense is suffocating, the emotional stakes are sky high, and the audience knows that what comes next will be unforgettable. This is not just a season finale, it's a reckoning, one that will leave a permanent mark on the Power universe. The finale delivers its gut-punch moments with precision, leaving no character untouched and no tension unresolved. Tommy stands at the center of the storm, facing enemies on all sides: Ortega, Jennard, and every player who has a score to settle. Each confrontation is more than physical. It's a test of will, loyalty, and survival. The brilliance of this episode is how it blends chaos with consequence. Tommy isn't just fighting to win, he's fighting to protect what's left of his world, to honor those who sacrificed for him, and to survive a city that never forgives weakness. Diamond's death continues to cast its long shadow, a tragic reminder that even the strongest bonds can't shield you from betrayal or fate. Jennard's descent into obsession reaches its peak, showing us a man who has lost everything but his hunger for revenge, and it's both terrifying and heartbreaking. Meanwhile, the tension is relentless. Every close call, every calculated move, every shot fired carries the weight of inevitability. Tommy's courage and defiance shine brightest here, not because he's invincible, but because he refuses to yield even when everything is stacked against him. And yet the finale isn't just about action. It's about the consequences of loyalty, the cost of ambition, and the human fragility that runs through this world. As the dust settles, we are left with heartbreak, awe, and anticipation. Relationships have been shattered, lives lost, and yet the story threads hint at a universe far from over. The finale sets up the future with meticulous care. Every victory, every loss, and every betrayal is a seed for what's to come. Tommy's journey, Diamond's legacy, and Jennard's downfall all converge in a way that is shocking, emotional, and utterly satisfying. By the end, it's impossible not to feel the weight of what just happened. A city conquered by ambition, a brotherhood destroyed by loyalty, and a man standing tall amidst the ruins of everything he fought for. Power Book 4, Force, Season 3 finale isn't just an ending. It's a reminder that in this world, survival is temporary, trust is deadly, and nothing, not even love, can escape the consequences of the choices we make. It's devastating, unforgettable, and leaves every viewer on edge, desperate for what comes next in the Power universe.